Welcome to this deep dive into the myth of normal by Dr. Gabor Mate, a book that challenges conventional views on health and illness. In it, Dr. Mate explores how societal and cultural expectations shape our understanding of what is considered normal, and how this myth leads to widespread suffering, both physically and emotionally. By examining the connections between physical health, mental well-being, and the environment in which we live, Dr. Mate offers a compelling argument that the real source of disease and dysfunction is not inherent in the body, but rooted in the systems that govern our lives. Dr. Mate starts by examining the complex relationship between trauma and health. He contends that trauma is not only about catastrophic events like abuse or neglect but also about the cumulative effect of neglecting the emotional and psychological needs of individuals throughout their lives. The book delves deeply into how early childhood experiences, especially those involving emotional or physical neglect, set the stage for chronic illness later in life. By using case studies, Mate shows how the body's response to stress and trauma can manifest in physical symptoms, ranging from autoimmune diseases to chronic pain. One of the core ideas in the book is the concept of normal within the context of modern Western society. Dr. Mate argues that what is considered normal in our culture, working excessively, suppressing emotions, and neglecting our health for the sake of productivity, is, in fact, far from healthy. This myth of normalcy leads people to overlook the deep, systemic issues that cause physical and psychological distress. By embracing the myth, society ignores the consequences of living in a world that prioritizes profit, efficiency, and individualism over human connection and well-being. As Dr. Mate digs deeper, he highlights the impact of societal norms on personal health. For instance, he criticizes how medical professionals often treat symptoms without addressing the root causes, which are often emotional, social, and psychological. The book critiques how modern medicine tends to compartmentalize the body, viewing it as a mechanical system rather than an interconnected whole. This disconnect leads to the treatment of illness in isolation, without considering the mental and emotional states of patients, which, according to Dr. Mate, is a critical component of healing. The myth of normal extends into how we view mental health. Dr. Mate emphasizes how mental health issues are often labeled as disorders or illnesses, without taking into account the social and cultural pressures that contribute to mental distress. He points to the rise in psychiatric diagnoses, particularly depression and anxiety, and how these conditions are often treated with medication rather than a deeper exploration of the environmental factors contributing to them. He argues that these mental health issues are not isolated conditions but are deeply intertwined with the way society functions and treats its individuals. Central to Dr. Mate's argument is the idea of disconnection. He describes how disconnection from the self, from others, and from the environment leads to a variety of chronic conditions. This disconnection can manifest in many ways, in the detachment from our emotions, the inability to express our needs, and the suppression of our instincts for the sake of social acceptance. As a result, individuals become disconnected from their true selves, leading to physical and mental health issues. Dr. Mate shows how this disconnection is cultivated by societal forces, including family dynamics, the education system, and even the media, all of which encourage people to conform to unhealthy standards. Mate also touches on the role of the individual in this system. While societal forces play a significant role in shaping health outcomes, he stresses that individuals are not powerless. The book offers insights into how we can begin to heal by reconnecting with our true selves, cultivating empathy, and embracing vulnerability. In this way, the myth of normal is not just a critique of society but also a call to action, urging people to challenge societal norms and prioritize their emotional and psychological well-being. The book doesn't stop at criticism, it offers solutions for how we can change both individually and collectively. Dr. Mate advocates for a more holistic approach to health, one that integrates the emotional, mental, and physical aspects of life. He suggests that we need to create environments that nurture rather than suppress the human spirit. This includes fostering more compassionate, supportive communities, both in the family unit and in broader society, where people are encouraged to express their emotions and deal with trauma in healthy ways. Another significant topic Dr. Maté addresses is the prevalence of addiction in modern society. He argues that addiction is not a personal failing but a symptom of deeper societal problems. Addiction, whether to substances, work, or even technology, is a coping mechanism for unresolved trauma. Dr. Maté explores how individuals often turn to these substances or behaviors as a way to numb emotional pain or to fill a void left by unmet emotional needs. By understanding addiction in this context, Dr. Maté challenges the conventional view that addiction is simply about a lack of willpower or moral weakness. Throughout the myth of normal, Dr. Maté draws on his decades of experience as a physician, particularly in working with marginalized communities, to highlight how social inequalities and systemic oppression contribute to health disparities. He argues that people living in poverty or facing discrimination are more likely to experience chronic stress and trauma, which in turn affects their physical and mental health. This reinforces the cycle of illness, as those who are already disadvantaged often lack access to the resources needed for healing. The book also emphasizes the importance of recognizing and dealing with trauma, both on an individual and collective level. Dr. Maté suggests that acknowledging trauma, whether it's personal or societal, is the first step toward healing. He explores how trauma can be passed down through generations, not just as learned behavior but also as a physiological process. This concept of generational trauma is crucial to understanding how deeply ingrained patterns of suffering can perpetuate across time and how breaking these cycles requires a comprehensive approach to healing. In conclusion, the myth of normal is a profound exploration of how societal pressures, trauma, and disconnection shape our physical and mental health. Dr. Gabor Maté challenges the conventional wisdom that defines normal as healthy, arguing instead that our current way of living is the root cause of much of our suffering. The book provides a compelling argument for the need to reframe how we understand health and well-being, emphasizing the importance of connection, compassion, and self-awareness. Ultimately, Dr. Maté's message is clear: true health is found not in conforming to societal norms but in reconnecting with our authentic selves and each other. The myth of normal is a barrier to healing, and only by challenging it can we hope to build a healthier, more compassionate world.